Welcome to the season opener for the 2012 Greendale Panther football season. Tonight, Greendale finds himself on the road as they will be doing battle with the South Milwaukee Rockets. This is a crossover Woodland Conference game as South Milwaukee is a member of the Woodland East, while Greendale is a member of the Woodland West. Greendale would receive first to start the game. After the return, sophomore quarterback Josh Ringelberg would confidently walk on the field for his varsity debut. It didn't take long for Ringelberg to show what he's got, for he guided the Panthers offense on a flawless 9-play, 88-yard scoring drive, capped off by a 20-yard run by newcomer Jake Zwicky, who will be lining up in the backfield for Greendale. Would convert the extra point try, and just like that, Greendale was up 7-0 with 8:33 left in the opening quarter of play. After the kick, it would now be time for the Panther coaches to see what they had on defense. They had to like what they saw right off the bat as they forced the Rockets to punt going 3 and out. The Panthers offense would now take to the field once again. Clever mix of the run and the pass, they soon found themselves in the end zone once again on a 45-yard run by Zwicky, capping off a 6-play, 68-yard drive. Picard made his kick, and the Panthers now found themselves leading by a score of 14-0 with 4:08 still left in the first quarter. Things weren't as bright for the Rockets, for on their very first play after the kick, they would fumble the ball, of which Greendale's Alan Dundee would recover. Looking at a goal line that was only 33 yards away, Ringelberg would line his boys up for the next Panther drive. The Panthers managed to squeeze off 9 plays before looking at a 4th down. Instead of going for it, they would bring out the field goal unit to attempt a 24-yard field goal. On the snap of the ball, they would run a fake instead. That didn't work too well, for the pitch was fumbled, resulting in the first turnover and downs of the game. The Rockets would now be starting from deep within their territory. They put a 7-play drive together before fumbling the ball once again, at which Greendale's Mike Deluzos would recover. With the ball resting on the Rockets' 43, the Panthers' offense would take to the field once again. 6 plays later, Zwicky would pound it up the middle from 9 yards out for Greendale's 3rd touchdown of the game. Picard would split the uprights, and the Panthers were now close to blowing this game wide open by a score of 21-0 with 7:40 left in the first half. South Milwaukee would now get the ball back and attempt to get something going. They strung 8 plays together before Greendale's Mitchell Breeze intercepted the ball and returned it to the Panthers' 33-yard line. On this Panther possession, they found themselves in the end zone real quick as Zwicky took off on a handoff and scampered 65 yards to the end zone. The play would be called back on a holding penalty. That didn't affect Greendale's resolve, for on the very next play, Ringelberg would complete a 40-yard pass to Breeze, taking the ball all the way to the Rockets' 15. Plays later, Ringelberg would take it himself up the middle and score from 10 yards out. Picard was true again, and Greendale now officially has blown this game wide open by a score of 28-0 with 1:51 still left in the first half. The Panthers' defense forced the Rockets to punt and then took a knee to end the first half. South Milwaukee would get the ball first to start the second half. Black Cats' defense picked up right where they left off, forcing them to punt going 3 and out. After a 4 punt, Greendale would take over at midfield. Seven plays later, Ringelberg would take it up the middle from 3 yards out for Greendale's 5th touchdown of the evening. Picard made the kick, and the score was now 35-0, which is enough to start a running clock based on the mercy rule. South Milwaukee was not going to go away, however. They started their next drive on their 41. This time they finally managed to reach the end zone as Rocket quarterback Justin Olenden would scamper in from 7 yards out. extra point kick was smothered by Greendale, so the score was now 35-6 with 2:26 left in the third quarter. Because of the Rocket score, the clock would now return to normal operating procedures. After the ensuing kick, Greendale would find themselves starting on their 30 for their next drive. They managed to sew together 8 plays before looking at a fourth down on their 14. This time they would call on Picard to attempt a field goal. As soon as the ball was kicked, it would end up sailing through the uprights for a 29-yard field goal. The score was now 38-6 with 10:45 left in the game. Greendale's defense forced another punt as the Rockets would go 3 and out. At this point in time, Greendale's coaching staff was now starting to filter in the number 2 players. After exchanging a few possessions, Greendale would finally make one of the few mistakes of the evening as quarterback David Wood would miss his mark on the pitch, giving the ball to the Rockets on Greendale's 25. It didn't take the Rockets long for 3 plays later. Olden would connect with wideout Evan Marlowe on an 11-yard scoring pass. Try for 2 was no good, making the score 38-12 with 6:06 left in the game. The Panthers would now take over and found themselves punting, going 3 and out. The Rockets would then run 7 plays before Jack Ringelberg intercepted the ball in the end zone, stopping the Rockets in their tracks. Each team would touch the ball one more time before the clock finally ran out. Your final score would be Greendale 38, South Milwaukee 12. One has to think that the Panther coaches were very pleased at what they saw with the young team. There were a few mistakes made, but for the most part the execution was there on offense and the swarming and tackling was there on defense. Greendale will now travel to Greenfield next Friday to take on the Hawks. The Hawks were talked about as being one of the teams to watch out for, but that didn't play out as they lost their opener against Pewaukee 27-0. Don't let that fool you one bit, for I would imagine that they might be a little upset, and they will be coming out with guns a-blazing next Friday night. The game is scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. Hope to see you all there. So long.